Hello and welcome back to Tsumihoroboshi, Chapter 12, Midway Point, Sachin. Last episode was a good one. Power, friendship reaffirmed, confirming, pretty much, I think it confirmed the misunderstanding theory from Anu Takashi. Like the 99% clear, which is pretty much cleared. Confirming something about how the world works. I still it's just so out there, right? It's hard to really like grasp the exact way it works, but it's something. It's something. But yeah, it's been a good day. Finished Doki Doki. I mean, I already finished my first playthrough, but if you've been watching, the after that I've been like just trying to get the two other endings. So I've been checking out all the content I've missed. So I finally cleared, pretty much 100% cleared it, besides some minor stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much cleared, so that's been super fun. Great game, by the way, though I'm sure most of you know that. Or at least, if you haven't read Doki Doki, you probably should, because it's pretty good. But that also means Tuesday, we will be starting a new visual novel. I think I mentioned it in the update, what I was going to do, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I forgot the name of it. But I'm pretty sure it's a game I already had. That's why I was doing it. It's a puzzle mystery game with visual novel elements that's fairly popular. If that rings any bells, then that's probably what you're thinking of. I don't know. It's pretty popular. It's been in my library. I probably bought it when I was younger because it was on sale. I never played it. But yeah, that's coming out Tuesday. I don't remember what it is, but it should be fun. Should be a little bit of some crossover, hopefully. But yeah, good stuff. But yeah, it's been a pretty lazy day. I watched like 5 episodes of a series, so, and they're each like an hour long, so 5 hours of watching TV. It's very rare for me nowadays. It's HBO's Succession. If you're interested in a sort of a business drama featuring a rich family, then that's definitely the show. It is hilarious and extremely fun to watch. I watched like 5 episodes. I mean, episode 1 to 5 of season 2. So, however you can, like, if you can watch that, I would recommend it. If it sounds interesting at all, at least give the first episode a shot. It's so good. Well, that's life. Guess let's just get started on this. See how this progresses. Keiichi has now been reaffirmed with the power of friendship and the power of knowledge of other arts, and Rika's on our squad. I think we're in a really good position. This is probably the best position we've been in for Keiichi to survive. And it's cool having Rika on our squad because, like, obviously she's given up on the world, but Keiichi literally did a miracle and somehow tapped into his memories of at least Anu Takashi. And just that inspired her to, like, try to help this world, because who knows when she's trying to get another self-aware Keiichi. But yeah, enough flabber, whatever. Enough fluff. Let's get into the stuff. That wasn't good. That was a bad saying. I should really just jot down all my sayings, right? Like, it's good prep. Anyways, let's actually start. Enough. The summit was being held at a traditional Japanese restaurant in Shishibone City. When a black car stopped in front of it, 3 burly cops got out of it, followed by Oishi. They were welcomed by Sonozaki Corps members in equally black suits. It was something you didn't see every day.
今日はお招きいただきまして光栄です。遅刻しちゃって申し訳ないですね。
Oh,
お客人、ご案内いたします。
Kasai meets it's Mr. Lanky meets the Big O. That's some supernova shit. Better slowly walk away, camera guy.
どうぞこちらへ。
Look at the size of him. He's so lanky. There was a sign saying reserved at the entrance. Oishi and his subordinates were taken inside. They walked through the restaurant's pretentious landscape garden, and they came to the gorgeous Japanese-style entrance. Hey, it's Akane. Saw you as a little teaser. Maybe you have a bit more of a prevalent role in this story. A woman, I mean, she was kind of prevalent in Maitashi, you just didn't see her a lot. A woman in a kimono was waiting at the entrance, as was Kasai. Upon seeing the police officers, they stopped chatting and bowed deeply. The woman in the kimono was Mion's mother, Akane.
いやーどうも園崎社長さん。本日はお招きをいただきありがとうございます。
ようこそいらっしゃいました。ご多忙中のはるばるのお越し、心より感謝いたします。
いえ、今日はごちそうになりますよ。ここの料亭は湯葉が有名ですからね。
Dried bean curd, huh? Hear that slow rolling train? It's the worst, bro. Just hit me with a fast, loud train, not the slow rolling minute to rev up.
どんなごちそうか楽しみです。それから葛西さんもお久しぶり。直接会うのはだいぶ久しぶりになりますね。
My bad. I hit the little microphone thing and I spilled water on my shorts and on my leg. Great. Luckily, it's only water. It's my fault, though. At least I didn't get on the mic.
ご無沙汰をいたしております。
まあなんかこの度はお互い戦争状態に突入しちゃってるようですが、白黒を穏便に大人のルールに
Sorry, Oishi.
全面戦争はいつでも大丈夫ですんで。
Oh man, seems like they're actually gonna get a resolution for this pretty quickly, huh? I mean, it's good for everyone, but I would have liked more spice, because they're probably gonna explain to Oishi. Though he might not believe it.
そりゃこちらもやりたかないです。あんたが粘ると血の雨が降るって評判ですからね。私もいい年なんで、もう流血沙汰はごめんしたいところです。
Obviously, this was a meeting between people who hated each other. The tension in their words indicated that it wasn't likely to be a friendly meeting.
それではご案内いたします。どうぞこちらへ。
主催自らのご案内、痛み入りますよ。
そうそう。招待状の名前は私で出させていただきましたが、今日の主催は本家でございます。わけあって招待状の名前を変えさせていただいたことをお詫びいたします。
本家です。防弾チョッキを着に戻ってもいいですかね。
Good one. It's Mion. On the other side of the door, there were several tables, and Mion was sitting at one of them. Since Mion was still young, her school uniform functioned as her formal dress. That's such a nice excuse. Would have liked to see a formal dress Mion, though. Still, it's strange with both the police and the corps members in black suits.
これはどうも園崎家の次期当主のお嬢さん。今日はお招きくださり光栄です。
本日はようこそお越しくださいました。
Is that just a formality, or is in this arc she never met Shion or Mion directly? That'd be kind of weird.
まずはおかけになってください。
Mion politely welcomed the police, undaunted even though they were older than her parents. Mian gave Tasai a look and he tapped on the door. The waitress who had been waiting behind the door started bringing out drinks.
おいさん、一体これは何のつもりですかね。
さてね。まあ、ここは舌鼓を打たせてもらいましょう。ここの湯葉は有名ですよ。
Dried bean curd. Doesn't sound good. Is bean curd what? Sorry, I need to look that up. Bean curd. Yeah, it's just tofu. Okay. It's just dried tofu. What does that even look like? Wow. I don't think I've ever tried dried tofu. It's interesting. I do like tofu. I mean, I don't think tofu is anyone's favorite. But, I am a sucker for, like, ones at, like, either Japanese or Korean barbecue restaurants for the sides. Sometimes they're really good. Or obviously mixed with something. But yeah, it's nice. They started drinking, but the tension continued for a while. Mian made the waitress and the other members of the Sonozaki Corps leave the room, and only Oishi and his subordinates, Mian, Akane, and Tasai were left in the room.
さて、今日はどういうお話ですかな。
Akane nodded and began speaking.
本日は皆さんとの間に生じている誤解について解かせていただきたく、このような場を設けさせていただきました。
ほう、誤解。
発端はとてもさまつでございます。ここによって、
I'm skipping too much.
笠井達義と竜宮レナ、個人間のこと。
Sorry, fat finger in it, huh? Tatsuyoshi Katsai. I think that's the first time we've heard his last name. Actually, no, probably not.
その崎組は関与しておりません。
個人的事情って何ですかね。片木の竜宮さんと極道の葛西さんにどういう個人的な接点が生じるっていうんです。
葛西。
はい。僭越ながらご説明させていただきます。
Kasai told the police officers that he happened to meet Rena at a coffee house in Otonomiya. He explained that Rena found something and he lost her, and she offered to bring it back to him.
ちょいと無理がございませんかね。
Yeah, I was trying to say, it sounds a little too convenient or simple. We should probably won't believe it at first, at least.
まあ100歩譲って落とし物の話を信じてもいいですよ。その後がちょいとおかしくないですかね。竜宮レナを探して組の若い連中が動員されてるって聞いてますよ。
それに関しましては、この私めの手落ちでございます。竜宮レナさんが遅くになっても帰宅されないのを家人が心配されていたので、繁華街で見かけていることがないかどうか若い者に聞かせたのですが、その際に手違いがありましたようで。
This is new info.
おうおうおう、こんな割烹まで呼び出してそのヨタ話を信じろっての。
I want to see the fight. I'm sorry. Even though it's not good for anybody. Let me see some fighting.
あんた、うちらの商売をなめてんの？
Oishi looked a lot more like a member of the Yakuza than the real Yakuza did. Does give that vibe. Oishi threatened them with a nasty smile, and it piled all the more tension onto the atmosphere in the room.
おいさん、まあまあ。
Kimutai tried to make him stand down. Officers with hot tempers pair with others who are good at calming them down, just like how Yakuza do. Oishi backed off with a grin. Kimutai took over, continuing from there.
それで、 園崎家さんはどうおっしゃりたいわけですか。竜宮レナと葛西達義の個人的問題だから民事に介入するなとおっしゃりたいわけ
Even though like I'm still kind of like suspicious of the Sonozakis a bit, and I know it sounds kind of dumb, but I still not for the reasons Rena are thinking of, but I just feel like they might actually be trying to get Rena for a different reason than this. Just as this is new information that Tasei said. And I don't know, man. I don't want to explain it because it's probably not good enough to explain, but I guess we'll just have to see.
そういうわけにはいきません。竜宮レナは警察で保護させていただきます。
Mian opened her mouth for the first time in a while.
警察は竜宮レナを保護なさる理由をお聞かせください。
そりゃ決まってるじゃないかよ。あんたらが狙ってるからだよ。
Oishi answered bluntly, but Mian remained nonchalant. That must have made him all the more annoyed.
どうして東方が竜宮レナを狙っているとお思いで？
そりゃあんたの胸に気合いだろ。
See? I just want to say, see this like Mian right here? This is the head version of Mian I was talking about. That felt very reminiscent in a couple episodes ago. It gives the same vibe I got when she was talking to Keiichi that first time. It's more, I guess it's like less about the words, more about the vibe. Which is hard to gauge because everyone gauges vibes differently, but that's how I feel anyways.
ご自分のその胸に。
大石さん、本日は皆さんの誤解を解くための会合です。もちろん耳を貸されないのもまたご自由かとは存じますが、聞いた方がさぞかしよろしいかと思いますよ。
ほう。我々が何の誤解をしていると？
竜宮レナの持っている高野美代のスクラップ帳についてある重大な誤解をされております。
When did Mian learn about these scrapbooks? Because Keiichi didn't tell her, unless the little time skip between the mid-chapter thing got told about her, but Keiichi never informed her about these scrapbooks. Just putting that out there. The officer's expression grew stern all at once. All of a sudden, she had gotten straight to the point.
竜宮レナの保護は彼女が高野美代のスクラップ帳を持っているから。なので、
Oishi and his subordinate stared back at her without saying a word, making it obvious that her guess was right.
葛西
Akane gave him a look, and he left the room. However, he shortly returned, carrying a black suitcase. Every one of the officers assumed that there was a tremendous amount of money in the suitcase and the Sonozaki family was trying to buy them off. Kasei opened the suitcase and showed the contents to the police.
これは。
Wow. What did she do? She put them in the yard, her scrap yard. How did they find them?
高野美代のスクラップ帳です。
These are fates.
残念ながら竜宮レナに手渡したと思われ
Okay,
るもの
these are
は
different
含まれておりま
ones.
せん。
Okay. Makes more sense.
これを本日の魚にいたそうかと思います。
中身を拝見させていただいても構いませんか？
ええ、どうぞ。お話はそれを読んでいただいた後で構いません。必要でしたら人払いもさせましょう。
いえ、それには及びません。
The cops produced latex gloves from their pockets, put them on, and took one of the scrapbooks out of the suitcase. There's more than 10 of them in there.
それらは高野美代の死亡の際に沖宮の自宅から発見したものです。
Oishi and the others desperately turned the pages of the well-thumbed scrapbooks.
これ間違いなく高野美代のなんでしょうね。
間違いありません。
大石さん、もしこれらに類するものを竜宮レナが持っているとするなら、
おそらくは竜宮レナが持つスクラップ帳もそれらに類する内容でしょう。
The theory stuff, just, discrediting Rena's claims. Oishi looked stunned by the contents of the scrapbooks. He started turning the pages faster and then closed the scrapbook roughly.
ここにあるスクラップ帳、全部がこんな中身なんですか？
ええ、そうですよ。納得ゆくまでご覧ください。
The other officers also rapidly turned through pages. They weren't reading them, just flipping through. They took one scrapbook from the suitcase after another and flipped through the pages roughly. At least they're checking it.
大石さん、こんなのめちゃくちゃです。タチの悪いオカルト小説ですよ。冥界と現世が激突して霊魂が流入した。
Nice.
これを証拠として採用しろって言うんすか？
ああ、そっちは冥界の仕業なんだ。俺のは地底人の仕業って書いてあるよ。
This one is about a classified weapons of the Nazis. This one's about the legacy of the Mu continent. That one is about Asi, the mysterious creature in Anidafuchi swamp. They have their own
お
one.
そらく竜宮レナが持つスクラップ帳には皆さんもよくご存知の寄生虫説が記されているのだろうと察します。
The police were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. The other officers were shooting glances at Oishi. They hadn't said anything to him, but they never really believed in the story of the parasite, let alone the bioterrorism. But Oishi had believed it and told them he had proof. None of the scrapbooks in front of them said anything about parasites, but it was easy to assume the contents of one scrapbook were no different in nature from another. In other words, all of them were just crappy occult novels. That growl. Oishi appeared unable to accept the fact that was facing him, but now that he was actually looking at it, it was too difficult to ignore. Mio Takano was an occult geek who had laughable ideas about the legend of Anidafuchi, but Rena took them seriously, and so had Oishi. The other officers could no longer stop themselves from laughing at the ridiculous scrapbooks. Oishi glared at them, and they stopped laughing. The main reason Oishi took the story of the Parasite series seriously because the Sonozaki family was apparently after Rena Ryuru for the scrapbooks she had. Plus Takano, the owner of the scrapbooks, was killed. Because of these two reasons, he believed in the occult B novel. Oishi was frustrated without a doubt. He has to accept that he was wrong. Oishi was eager for any information that could help him solve the series of mysterious deaths of Hinamizawa before he retired. I like this is third-person POV. So, just a tip for anyone reading something that might have tricks in it. Don't trust third-person POV, especially if the norm is first-person POV, like I said before. This isn't Oishi's direct thoughts, and it could be concealing them. A combination, not that I necessarily think this is wrong, but I still think in my heart of hearts, I do think it's a little silly that Oishi actually believed in the parasite theory. So there's that, I guess. A combination of a number of factors made Takano's ridiculous theory become highly credible to him.
いくつかお聞きしたい。高野美代はどうして？
高野美代についても富武二郎についても当家では一切関
そりゃそう言うだろうな。自分のことを嘘つきという嘘つきがこの世にいるわけはない。
あらあら大石さん、当家で始末したなら死体が出るとお思いで。
Mian wore a cold smile. She had said too much. Atene cleared her throat as if to condemn the statement that made Mian shut her mouth. Oishi glared at the young successor, but he knew she was right.
じゃあ、竜宮レナをなんで追ってるんだよ。
初めから追っていないと申し上げております。確かにそう見えてしまう誤解が生じたことはこちらのミスです。その点につきましては私よりお詫びさせていただきます。
The reasons which made Oishi take Renan's delusion seriously collapsed one by one. Mian and Atene looked at each other. They must have decided to let Atene speak, so she did so firmly.
当家からのお願いを申し上げさせていただきます。当家ではこのような世まいごとの内容に踊らされて警察と事を交えるのは望むところではありません。伝え聞くところでは県警防対本部の三海氏が公安部と調整をされていると聞いております。何かのさまつな口実をきっかけに当家に関連するすべてに対し一斉捜査を入れられるおつもりとか。
They had been at Oishi's request. Oishi took Renan's story seriously and he wanted to find the research facility that was developing the parasite. He was intending to use it as proof of the potential bioterrorist attack. But as he had no idea where to start looking, he tried to conduct simultaneous raids on all facilities the Sonozaki family owned in the entire prefecture, in cooperation with the Task Force for Gang Groups and Public Safety. Normally, the circumstantial evidence he had wouldn't be enough to get their cooperation. In fact, Public Safety doubted Oishi's source because they hadn't heard any potential terrorist attacks. They trusted their information network. But Oishi took advantage of his long career and his old friends, and he managed to get them to cooperate. Oishi's face broke out in a nervous sweat. Needless to say, he realized he was completely wrong.
当家もダム戦争の当時はいろいろとご迷惑をおかけいたしましたが、すでに昭和も60年代を前にし、時代の移り変わりを感じております。そんな中、当家もまた弱きを助け、強きをくじく任教団体でありながらも、時代に即した平和的な路線を模索しているところです。そんな中、警察の一斉捜査を頂戴しては、手前どもの面目が丸つぶれでございます。
あんたんとこの面目なんて知ったことじゃないよ。
True.
叩きは誇りが出るんだ。
Nice.
一斉捜査は決行しますよ。
誇りが出れば結構ではございますが、出なかった場合、いくら大石さんといえど決して軽んじれない責任問題に発展するかと存じますが。
上等だよ。牛と全面戦争するか。
それをお望みでしたら、それもまたよろしいか。
I like that. I like Oishi's attitude towards this.
どうかお
I don't know if
気
it's
の済
right,
むお
but
仕事をなされてくださいます。
It's entertaining.
当家はいつでも受けて立ちますので。
Atene Sonozaki didn't betray Oishi's expectations. Although her right to become successor was taken away, Atene had been through a lot more than Mion. Oishi couldn't back out now, but he knew if it was a fight, he probably couldn't win. Kumagai butted in and tried to calm him down.
一斉捜査を控えることに対する見返りは？
Mion answered this time.
双方の友好の証としてそのスクラップ帳を皆さんに献上いたします。
The thing is, alright, time to be paranoid. Tatano did value the parasite scrapbook over or whatever the strap which she gave Rena over these ones. Now, it could again just be her being crazy, but maybe it doesn't even have to be the parasite theory necessarily. Maybe there is just something in there, something in all the misinformation in there. Or, I mean, the parasite theory could be right, but let's pretend it isn't, because I don't really believe it anyways. But something in there probably might lead to the truth, and maybe that's why. And that's like a reason the Sonozakis want it. But we'll see. Maybe they're about to offer the parasite strapwoods to them, but I have a feeling they won't.
そのスクラップ帳があれば、まだ高野美代を出しに矛先を引っ込めることもできます。
Because they're making this assumption that just because these are shit means the other ones are full of shit too. But, you know, these ones aren't the super secret Takano files, you know? No, just being positive. These scrapbooks provided how ridiculous Mio Takano's theory was. It's not proof. It's not proof. It's what we call soft proof. It's definitely not hard proof. Takano was dead anyway. Oishi could show the people these scrapbooks and say he was fooled. He could still pretend the whole raid thing never happened. He might have to take responsibility for it, but if he didn't back off now, there'd be no doubt that he'd face a hopeless mess. If he was going to back off, it was now or never. The administrative staff at his station weren't exactly fond of him. If he made such a huge mistake right before his retirement, people who had been looking for a chance for revenge would cut his pension with glee. His pension was decided by multiplying his base salary by a certain number. If they cut his base salary, there's no way he could avoid a big reduction. He decided to back off. It was hard for him to admit mistakes at his age. He grimaced with anger.
あとはクマちゃんに任すわ。ちょっと飲みすぎちゃったみたいです。私はちょいと縁側で夜風に当たってきます。失礼。
Oishi stood up quickly and left the room, making a lot of noise as he walked. Kasai closed the door. Oishi left open. The room was filled with silence again. At that point, Kumagai opened his mouth.
園崎家さんの言い分は了解いたしました。警察としても一斉捜査が及ぼす各業界への影響は本意ではなく、それによって小競り合いを誘致することもまた本意ではありません。よって市内の平穏を維持するため、今後とも警察と園崎家で連携していくことを確認したいと思います。よってこの度の一斉捜査は見送らせていただきます。
ありがとうございます。園崎家当主お領に代わりまして
約束に従い、このスクラップ帳は警察でお預かりします。それから条件が2つ。
Okay. What are
賜りま
these?
す。
1点目は、この場合のスクラップ帳を園崎家が入手した場合、速やかに警察に提出すること。
Watch, at the end of the story, whether it's happy or not, they're gonna say that the scrapbooks went missing. I guarantee you that, because there's something there. Maybe Rena just missed it too, but I feel like there might be something to the truth. Really.
2点目は、リュウグウレナの身柄を確保した場合、速やかにその身柄を警察に引き渡
Let's
す。
go, Kumagai. These are good conditions.
2点目は認められません。リュウグウレナは妄想に取りつかれた一少女に過ぎません。当家で速やかに身柄を確保した上で、しかるべき治療を受けられる医療機関を手配します。
You see, that doesn't sound good. Especially, oh man, medical facility. I mean, it made sense, but at the same time, makes you a little nervous, eh?
これは当人の権利でもあります。
その点につきましては、当方も主張を引けません。
Yo, Kumadai, okay.
当方には高野殺しを含めて、リュウグウレナに尋問する権利があります。重要参考人としてです。容疑者としてではありません。
Atene whispered to Mion. Mion in turn nodded and began to speak.
わかりました。2点目の条件を了承します。ただし、当方からも条件を追加します。竜宮レナの権利保全のため、当家から弁護士を派遣します。竜宮レナへの尋問はすべて弁護士立ち会いのもとで行うこと。
了解しました。ただし、一点確認を。
Keep them piling, guys.
その崎家からの弁護士が意図的に派遣されないことによる妨害は認めません。
That's good.
警察は竜宮レナの身柄を確保した後、
Covering the
直ちに
bases.
尋問を開始します。
当家も問題ありません。ただし、竜宮レナの身柄確保時には直ちに当家へ連絡をすること。
可能な限り早く連絡するようにいたします。
Akane cut in.
尋問をあらかた終えてから電話されても困ります。身柄を確保した時点でご連絡をお願いします。ここいらは互いを信頼した上での善意の取り決めでございます。どうか夢保護にされることがないようよろしくお願い申し上げます。
わかりました。双方による善意の取り決めです。遵守に誠心誠意努力いたします。
Akane and Kumadai glared at each other for a moment. Surprisingly, Kumadai was very calm. He was always in the shadow of Oishi, who was loud and noisy, but he had as much guts as his superior did. Oishi was good at taking care of matters in a rough and threatening kind of way, but Kumadai was good at negotiations like this. Nice. The meeting ended and the police stood up from their seats. The tension in the room had finally ceased. Kasei put the strapwoods back in the suitcase and handed it to Kumadai. Kumadai looked at Kasei, nodded lightly, and took what was offered to him.
イタリー製の最高級カバンです。今日のお土産に含まれますので、どうかお持ちになってくださいませ。
いえ、お約束ではスクラップ帳のみをお預かりすることになっております。カバンは後日、園崎組事務所へお返しに伺わせていただきます。それでは失礼します。園崎家当主お涼さんにもどうかよろしくお伝えください。
The officers left after bowing to Mion. After making sure the police had left the hallway, Mion sighed heavily and finally let go of her tension. She spread her feet on the floor, flapping the rim of her skirt.
いやー、肩が凝っちゃったよ。お母さんがやってくれればよかったのに。
バカだね。あんたの方が肩書きが上なんだよ。こういうのは年じゃなくて肩書きなの。葛西、中井に行ってビールでも持ってこさせて。あと外の若いのも呼び入れて何か冷たいのを振る舞ってやりな。
ビールだけでよろしいですか？
ああ、この子はダメダメ。オレンジジュースでも頼みな。
子供扱いして。
The slow roll train, huh? I think I said this in Doki Doki, but these are the worst, man. Just give me a fast train, you know? Actually, I might have said this in this. I don't even remember. Oh boy.
いくつになってもでっかい子供だよ、あんたは。それはそうと、今回の一件、お父さんがだいぶ手回ししてくれてるんだよ。よーく感謝しときな。葛西もね。あんたも片木と会うときはもうちょい気を利かせな。
みっともない限りです。
しかしさ、あの大石をコケにするとはレナちゃんもやるじゃない。あんたの友達はつくづく大物が多いね。今度ぜひ母さんにも紹介してよ。 お芝居でも一緒に見に行きたいね。葛西、今度レナちゃんに会ったらぜひそう伝えておいてよ。その時また物騒な話を吹き込むんじゃないよ。
もちろん分かってます、姉さん。
Oh, yeah. Didn't Tasa say something weird? I forgot what he said, though. With that, they successfully dispelled the magical power of Tatano's scrapbooks. The whole mess shouldn't grow any larger. The only remaining problem was Rena. Where could she be hiding? Curse you, third-person narrator. I won't fall for any of your tricks. Come on. That's a short chapter. Unless that's a... No. Really? 2 chapter breaks in 1 chapter? You're insane. But we're gonna end it here. Rules are rules. Wow, that's a rare double chapter break. I feel like we had that before, but it's definitely something unique. I'll take it though. Short episode once in a while. Again, I've been hitting you with like an hour and 20-minute episode, so I'm sure you appreciate a nice short one once in a while. I appreciate it anyways. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. We got the diffusion of the war situation. Oishi kind of got handled there. I mean, it's so convincing, and it's definitely like more probable that everything they're saying is right, but I am holding on to the hope that maybe something is in the secret Tatano files. I'm kind of giving up on the idea that the Sonozakis are after those secret files, just from how they acted after the scene when the police left. Because there wasn't really a reason to keep the facade up. But other than that, yeah. Well, that was something. Oishi getting beat down. It was, I mean, first time you see him really get beat down was in Mayakashi. This one, I was low-key cheering for him a bit. I don't know. It's not much. I guess he's like the super top, and he's kind of losing. Makes me feel weird because I really do like his character. But yeah. Anyways, good. Nice short and sweet session. Next time I guess we'll continue chapter 12. And we'll see what comes later. But thanks for watching as always, and see you next time. Bye for now.